pressure's gone, so I can hardly see you. Apologies. I have apologies for Councillor Edwards.
Sorry, Chair. So Councillor Edwards has some childcare issues, and Councillor Seelow is working.
Any other apologies?
There is a long-standing apology from Councillor Chinkley.
Thank you. Does anybody have any interest or dispensations to declare in respect of tonight's items? That's a no. Minutes. I propose we take as read and confirm the minutes.
So just before we start, maybe you've got your chat in a second.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. Please.
Good evening. It's good to be with you. My first time. Just by way of introduction, my name's Jeff Bennett. I've been the vicar of Budop for 25 years, but now I'm the rector of Falmouth, basically, which includes King Charles, All Saints, and Budop and Moor and Smith. But it's good to be with you here tonight and to pray for you in your meeting.
Please do. Thank you.
Loving God, we thank you for the town of Falmouth and for the privilege of being able to live and work here. We pray for the meeting of this town council and for all who serve on this committee. We pray especially for wisdom and guidance for the forthcoming discussions and for decisions that will need to be made. And we ask that in the process of speaking and listening, each be able to discern the best path to follow for the good of all within our community. We make our prayers through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Thank you. Just to say, obviously we are in the pre-election period, so everyone bear that in mind when making comments tonight, please. I propose we take as read and confirm as accurate the minutes from the last meeting, from the 11th of March. I propose. Seconder?
I'd like to make a correction, please.
Yes, please do.
I was glad of the opportunity to speak to the important issues raised in that meeting. However, I was not permitted the full 3 minutes, and I consider the minutes as written to be inaccurate and misleading and potentially negative towards me in an unnecessary way.
Thank you. Thank you, Councillor.
So I'd like the minutes corrected, please, to say that I was not given my full 3 minutes.
I recommend this. I was at a meeting and I'm happy they are an accurate reflection of what happened that night. That's what they're there for. They're an accurate reflection of what happened that night.
Point of order.
So I propose we accept this true and accurate record. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Pegg, all those in favour?
Point of order. My contribution just now was almost entirely drowned out by the bell, so I'd like to repeat that there is an inaccuracy in the minutes, and I would like it noted that I've been silenced effectively.
That has been noted, thank you, Councillor Young. The minutes are a record of what happened on that night. As they stand, I believe them to be an accurate record. We voted on that, they've been accepted by the majority. So we'll move on. Thank you. Town Mayor's report. So obviously it's only been 3 weeks. I haven't done a lot of stuff as yet. I went to Mary May's election for Henry Mayor, which is very good, very enjoyable. We also had the showcase for Falmouth University at Wood Lane. I was glad to see several of us there. It was a really good event. Lots of talent, lots of young people really keen to impress. Really good atmosphere, really joyous. So that was good. And on Saturday I went to Trebar Military Day and laid a wreath for the 80th anniversary of D-Day celebrations, which is really good. That's where he was there with me. Yeah, really good. There's a lot of D-Day celebrations coming up this week. On Thursday we have a service at Parish Church, and I'll ask as many of you to be there as possible, please. I realise it's a time commitment, but... Sorry? That's really good.
I didn't know the one in Parish Church, the one in the park.
Oh, sorry, in the park. Yeah, Kembley Park. Yeah, so I would ask as many of you to be there as possible, please. You've made a commitment of time. Thursday, yeah. Thank you, Councillor. Deputy Mayor's report.
Can I just apologise for my phone going off? Nobody ever phones me in the day. Anyway, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank those councillors who voted for me to become Deputy Mayor at the recent Mayor Making Ceremony. I very much appreciated your support. Since becoming Deputy Mayor, I voted last month to represent the Town Council at the Sound Safe launch. on Gilly Beach. The weather kept much of the public away. However, there's a good opportunity to catch up and learn how different groups interact with one another to make our beaches and towns safe and looking the best it can be. I spent a very informative morning at Falmouth Docks with Lieutenant Commander Trevor Brooks. Part of his role is to ensure the smooth running of the port's operations and develop links with the community, and as such is very much involved in working with the Town Council to maximise the links we have with the docks. And then finally I accompanied the Mayor at Falmouth University Showcase. The final year students' work was engaging and inspiring. It was a privilege to be part of such a vibrant evening that showcased the creative talent we have in the town and who will, I am sure, in the future contribute to the creative industries.
Yes, Councillor Evans.
Thank you. I'd like to ask the Deputy Mayor whether, when she was there on Dealey Bay Beach, whether she took the opportunity of using the unisex toilet and what her views of it were.
I didn't use the unisex toilet, so...
Thank you. Do we have any public questions?
No, we don't. You might just want to return to your minutes, because there was a set of minutes there from the 13th of May as well, about an hour meeting.
Yeah, thank you.
So you could get a resolution to those, please.
Okay, we also have minutes for our meeting on the 13th of May, which is the Mayor making ceremony. I propose we accept them as a true and accurate record. Do I have a seconder? Thank you. All those in favour? Thank you. Could we have a police report, please?
Good evening, everybody. Really just some housekeeping for us. We've been without an inspector for a little while. We had an inspector over for a while. He's moved on to different pastures. The 17th of June, very shortly, we're having Inspector Rick Milburn. He's been here before. Most of the period of time I think that I've known him for has been as a detective constable. I think it'll be a great asset to Falmouth. I'll leave you to judge that when he arrives. I'll invite him down to, if it's in order, to the Town Council meeting to meet everybody. We have a new MBM arriving on Wednesday, a neighbourhood beat manager, another police officer to the neighbourhood office, a chap called Vince Beckett. He's a PC in Falmouth, knows the place like the back of his hand, so he's arriving in the neighbourhood team on Wednesday, so 2 bits of good news. I'm afraid he's not coming from a different area. It's a police officer in Falmouth, moving to another department, but still a good department on neighbourhood, and hopefully will make us as active as possible in the community. Moving on to the second to last set of surgeries I went to. It was the surgery at the end of, we're in June, April. A member of the public, I won't name that person, came in and made some observations, I suppose, about speeding in certain areas of Falmouth. I'd like to come back to some more detail if I can, but what I can say initially, speed checks were carried out at North Parade and Pendennis Point is 2 different locations. Both of those locations, on more than one occasion, I believe 3, I think, for Pendennis Point, but allow me, if you would, just to get the correct figures for that. Over 40 tickets issued for speeding put here. So there's quite a lot of tickets issued for speeding. I think the issue on Pendennis is not necessarily just the speeding. It is the speed coming off that bend and onto Pendennis Point. The speeds weren't particularly high because of the road furniture and the way that road bends around, but there were certainly tickets issued at that location. We've been working with the fire service in an effort to get on board their boat on evenings through the week. Not very often, but on occasion. We've been trying to look at liveaboards and trying to engage with our marine community a bit more. Quite obviously surrounded by sea, and if we have a break-in on a boat, for us that counts as a vehicle crime. It's quite frustrating to not be able to somehow, shape or form, get on the water and police that. So we're going to try and address that. I'm not going to lie to you in a very small way by trying to get on that boat. Fire service welcomed us to try and work together in who we work with out in the immediate marina and the harbour. Becky Bromley has started, it sounds a bit random, the Pasty Initiative. We're collecting up food from a local supplier for when it's left off. when there's food left over, and we're trying our best to distribute that to people who may need that resource. We are open to any ideas. There are lots of communities within communities that we don't know about. We've been we've been to some of the old people's homes. We've been to some of the, I'm not going to say homeless because a lot of them are, I'm afraid, street drinkers. We've been trying to spread some of that food to people who may need it. Sorry, is there something funny? Sorry. Okay. Secondly, the e-bikes are back as well for our office, which is really good. It's really good. We're able to patrol and get to places we might not necessarily get to in a car, and our approach is silent, which is a bonus on the e-bikes. We see a whole lot more on the bikes than we do in the vehicles.
They have flashing blue lights.
Yes. And our summer season demand is increasing, and therefore I am afraid we are going to probably end up having to cover for response at times on neighbourhood. It's just the working model, and that doesn't mean we can always fulfil our function every single shift, but we'll do our utmost to continue with the work we do with Falmouth, balanced with supporting other functions within the police force as well. For my list, I don't have anything else to say. If anyone wants to ask anything.
Does anyone have any questions? Councillor.
Yeah, I noticed on TV last week they were advertising that some of the young women around the town could walk around the WPC to point out safe spaces and things like that.
Yeah.
How do they book that? Do they get hold of the police station or?
I honestly don't know, but I can come back to you and give you that information.
Mark know, so we can just give that information out maybe on our website or something?
Yeah. Communication is key, absolutely.
Thank you.
Councillor.
Thank you, Matt. As the coordinator of the Speed Watch, I was very pleased that Police Special Constable Dave Christophers was able to join us both in North Parade and in Melbourne Road, which is that issued a number of decisions.
It's very good, isn't it?
Yeah, brilliant.
Very efficient.
Any other questions? Thank you, Matt. Thanks for your community work. That's really, really encouraging.
Thank you. If I can, I'm going to take the English and present for anything else.
No, that's it. Thank you.
Thanks, Matt.
Next is the Community Safety and Fire Report. I believe the officer's not with us.
No, there is a submitted report.
Thank you. Would you just take that thread?
Yep.
Thank you. Community Network Manager Report.
Likewise, there is also the draft action notes from the community area panel there as well.
Thank you. Is everyone sign that?
Yes.
Next is Cornwall Councillors' Reports. I'll start with Councillor Kennecan.
Doing a lot of walking around my division. So I've spoken to a lot of people. We're waiting along roads at Cornwall Housing, because a lot of my division is Cornwall Housing. There's a lot of issue with Cornwall Housing, I suppose. The rents are going up so they can get the damp plan and get on top of it, and various other repairs. But we're getting lots of spares and not much work. So we're pressing a bit on that. I've been to some of the flats as well, and we have a bit of a problem with some fly tipping as well around one side of the Christine Gardens flat. So hopefully we're going to sort that out soon as well. It's not helping things like ground cyber, which isn't great. I've been working a bit with the community group who are open to take over looking after that green space in the place. They've been talking to the town council as well, which is great. So that's progressing at a slow speed, but still progressing. And I think those are the things that I've been doing recently.
Thank you, Councillor.
I should have said that apologies from Councillor McGowan as well to the child coaches.
Thank you. Councillor Saunders.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, what I've been up to, just like to report that the one-way system in Truscabay is now operational and is working quite well, but needs tweaking. But needs, along with the removal of the infamous double yellow lines, which was part of the deal, so I'm hoping they're going to stick to that and remove the double yellows at the top of the Burn Drive, which is part of the deal. So this will allow an extra 3 cars parking, so it really is bad for parking, because as you know, most of you know, these old estates, Old Hill and Truscabays, they were built before a lot of people had cars, and now you've got 2 or 3 cars per household. You just can't fit everybody in. It's impossible. I met with Fifth Bigwood earlier this week with reference to reducing the size of the bus stop in Casey Road, and also on Bickman Water Road regarding safety ratings on the Monbreeze Road Junction, which is in Exeter Gills Division. But he doesn't seem too keen on the issue of putting safety rails in. But we'll see if we go with that one. As you know, I'm also councillor for Budok, and I attended the opening of the site with Councillor Phil Hart, who's the chairman of Budok Parish Council, and we had the managers, from the area there, and we opened the site officially. There will be 47 affordable homes on this development, which is 35% of development. So I think that's very good, really, to get that amount of affordables. And I'm still waiting for enforcement to make the decision on the industrial size polytunnel on Cheverga, which is driving people mad out there. They want enforcement to get on with it. I keep badgering them, and but bang my head against the wall with enforcement. It's terrible. I'm just hoping that they will get on and make a decision, just to let the people know, one way or the other, are they going to enforce or not? That's me. And basically, I believe that's it for me on that. I believe, yes. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Freeman.
Yeah, can I just ask Councillor Saunders once again, the infamous lane that goes from Heyman Way down to the bridge, you now got a way through stinging nettles to get there. Somebody pushing the pram along here the other day, the kid came out with all these spots with the stinging nettles. It should be kept clear. It's the main route to the school, and the amount of times that I've asked for it to be done and it doesn't get done, I'd rather you try to push that a bit harder instead of worrying about railings in other people's division. Maybe you could look after ours.
Can I come back on that? I do cut these hedges back myself when I know there's a problem. Only councillors won't actually do that sort of thing. But I do that sort of thing. And Cormac do have a programme. They've got a set programme where they go and cut these back. One half of the lane belongs to British Rail, and the right-hand lane, right-hand side belongs to Cormac. But I do my best thing, because I'm very well saying that, but I do my best.
Thank you, Councillor Saunders. Councillor Jewell.
Yeah, Councillor Saunders is a big enough for a trampoline to go down. I could go with traction. Sorry, I can't do that at the back. On full council things, I brought a motion to full council in regards to the huge solar farms which are being put in on applications of good quality land. So I put a motion, all the councillors near enough, I think unanimously supported it, the Cornwall Council, so we're having a review of the land quality grading in Cornwall to make sure that the solar farms are not put on good quality land. So that was, I think, the first motion I've ever done, and I was quite glad it got through. Today I got re-elected as the chairman of the central planning for my last year, so that's 4 years I've done that. It's been a great honour to do that. In regards to stuff locally, I've had talks with Viv in regards to the footpath which is adjacent to the Falmouth golf course, in regards to if we can get some signage, but he informs me, as Viv usually does, that it's out of his remit, so I've got to approach the actual golf course owner to try and get some signage, because there's no real signage and there's still people walking down the road.
Yeah.
Because when you come up on Swansboard, it says no footway for half a mile when the footpath is there, but anyway, we are where we are, so I'm going to approach the actual owner in regards to that. Similar problems what Councillor Kirkman's got, we've got the Spinnaker development down the bottom of Boslowick and the flat roof, Prislow Fields, and the flat roof they've had issues with the building now, unfortunately they've all been asked to put their like, maintenance fee up, it's been capped at a certain level, so some residents are happy-ish, but it's not a great scenario with those leasehold buildings, is it? It's a nightmare. The new owners of some of the not so affordable houses on the golf course have been badgering about the speed limit. So again, Viv was on my side on that one because he told them in small print how it clarifies for a speed reduction, and at the moment it doesn't because it's not, the houses aren't actually fronting the road. So they've been in the house about 5 minutes and all of a sudden they want the speed limit drop, and I've been saying, it takes a bit longer than that, so hopefully they've been reassured that we can do what we can do. There is a consultation which me and David have been doing in regards to the whole cycle route along Bicklewater Road, and that may come in, but I don't think the speed limit is going to be, it's not going to happen. In regards to safety ratings, I've been in cahoots with Viv a little bit, but he seems to believe that rating sometimes impedes people from getting away from an accident, so that's why Dave's just trying to,
Understood.
jig him along there, but don't lose your hands with Viv. He's very reluctant to put his hand in his pocket, but he's got a budget to do so. Other than that, Simon's approached me as a town to perhaps trim the hedge of the roads for you around the Helen with my big machine on later this month probably. So I'll probably do that for you. FOC, I think. That's my little thing.
Thank you, Councillor Stewart. Committee reports. Oh, sorry, Councillor Young.
Thank you. Just a couple of questions to our Cornwall councillors. I'm wondering what progress there's been with trying to get the park and ride reinstated in Falmouth and get it that clear hours, regular bus or boat, because as ever we're having parking problems in the town near the seafront, and that was created to ease the parking problems in both Falmouth and Penryn. I'm aware it's in Penryn's territory now, but I'm wondering if through the community area panel perhaps some motive force could be moved on Cornwall Council to perhaps renegotiate the lease or the operating agreement or whatever is needed to get that operating year round, so with everybody knows that's where you go, you don't drive into town.
Thank you, Councillor Young. Are there any Cornwall Council any views on that?
Jane, yeah.
So I've been talking to everybody for a long time because that was part of a new funding deal, so Discovery and Key Enterprises already for a long time. That's now been handed back to Cornwall Council. There is supposed to be an agreement where in the summer months road layouts are taken away, and there is going to be a river link between that and here. And it's also supposed to be parking in there. They used to fund the buses, Cornwall Council used to fund the buses for about 30-35 grand a year. They're not prepared to do that anymore, so they say people have to use the public buses, which is slightly annoying because you have to cross the road to use the public buses. So I've been raising that relentlessly. But the situation is, they are saying it will be park and ride in the summer, but that there will be boat trips from there, and people will have to use the public buses. So that's where we are, and we're hoping that in the future that will be better.
Thank you, that's good. Councillor Young.
Thank you, that's really good to hear that there is at least some progress. I do think it needs to be beyond the summer months. We are looking for off-season tourism. We have a lot of people struggling to get into town out of season as well, and it's all tied up with the Church Street car park complication. I'm just wondering if it might be possible for any such boat to also carry on down to Custom House Quay and potentially elsewhere, because that might help.
I think those are decisions that are beyond the remit.
Yes, but if it's possible to have it open all year round, I think then people will get used to using it.
Thank you, it's noted, Councillor Young. Thank you. Any other questions for the councillors? No, thank you. Committee reports. To receive and consider reports from the following committees. Finance and General Purpose Committee.
Proposal set out.
Thank you.
Yeah, the need a seconder.
Seconder, please. Councillor Clegg, second. All those in favour?
Carried.
Planning and Licensing Committee.
Move second, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Do we have a seconder? Councillor Clegg, all those in favour? Thank you. Cultural Services and Leisure Committee. Okay.
Our proposal set out.
Thank you. Do we have a seconder? Councillor Robertson, all those in favour? Thank you. Grounds, Facilities and Environment.
Proposal set out.
Thank you. Do we have a seconder? Councillor Kerr, all those in favour? Thank you, everyone. To receive the update report for environmental education and enforcement.
No, you skip one.
Oh, well,
We've had one. So at 12 now is the annual governance and accountability return.
I've got the old agenda.
You've got the agenda, but your articles here speak item 12.
Please proceed.
So this is, oh sorry, I'm not used to this. The council annually needs to approve its... Oh, I'm so sorry. So I told you I'm not used to it. Crikey, that makes me even more of a target. Right, so every year annually the council needs to approve its annual governance and accountability return. It needs to approve its annual governance statement, and the statements contained ready for approval and consideration are as set out in section 1 of the annual governance statement 23-24. The Finance and General Purposes Committee have just recommended that they are passed on block. Do you want me to go through them statement by
I
statement?
don't feel that's necessary myself.
The Finance Committee have done that earlier tonight.
So, the first resolution is to approve the annual governance statement.
I propose to do so. Do we have a seconder? Councillor Robinson, all those in favour? Carried. Thank you.
And the second part of the accounting statements is to approve the actual figures contained therein, which are section 2 of the annual governance and accountability return.
I propose we accept that. Do we have a seconder? Councillor Robinson, all those in favour? Carried.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I think the environmental education and the enforcement report is a carryover from your last meeting, and they will report as part of the Grounds Manager's report to the Grounds and Facilities Committee.
Thank you. Item 13. This is regarding the plant-based treating. The Council for further consideration of this matter for the committee to consider and recommend. Attached is the sustainable food policy that the committee is recommending the Council to adopt. I hope you will decide that. It should be noted that a blanket treatment as proposed by the committee will have impact on staff time, food wastage and procurement at all council holidays. It's therefore recommended that this approach be tempered. Do you have any questions? Councillor Evans.
Can you explain that last sentence?
Sorry?
Can you explain that last sentence?
Just the fact that
tempered.
I think it's do we want to go for a 50-50 or do we want to have a different kind? Do we want to set it somewhere else? So do we want 50% vegan? Do we want 25% vegan? Do we want it to be half and half, or do we want to temper it and adjust it a little bit? Councillor Evans.
The motion that was approved by the committee was that there would be an equal opportunity for plant-based menu options.
Yes.
An equal option.
Councillor Clegg.
Thank you. I think Councillor Evans was pleased with the offering at the mayor making.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But the problem is with the 50-50 is the admin and the cost and the possible waste.
Can we please allow each other to speak with respect? Thank you.
So we're getting down to the staff having to send out quite complicated requirements with the invitations. There's a lot of coordination with that. And then there is the possible problem of finding a supplier to supply the right amount of choices for all the groups. So it's quite an undertaking for the staff and our contractors
Thank you, Councillor.
in money and time.
Because we do offer a vegan option, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Councillor Young.
Thank you. As someone who was vegan briefly 30 years ago, I've heard a lot of excuses for not advancing the possibility of people to choose a plant-based diet in my time, but that really took the biscuit, the vegan biscuit. I think we need to recall that this is about menu options being half plant-based. That's all. All you have to do is ring up and say how much for your vegan food, how much for that. Like, just order half, check if people aren't eating it, and it's very simple. Well, I didn't explain that very well.
Councillor Jewell.
Yeah, I mean, I was at the full council, we had a presentation by Vegan Africa, which I strongly oppose, because I think the meat and dairy industry is neutral in regards to how it treats the planet. The misconception that it isn't is rubbish. Maybe in other countries, but our country, like I said at the time, is predominantly grass-based meat production, which grass is absorbing carbon. It may be the case in America where they have feedlots bringing in soya, but predominantly in England, I think the British farmers are doing a brilliant job of doing a balanced diet. And I think the percentage of people in this country that are vegan should be what we should be adopting moving forward. So there's no way in this country that 50% is a vegan. So I think like a 20% vegan option, and then how about Deborah in regards to getting the food ready would be great help. I think 8% normal food and the rest vegan and vegetarian. I think we have a choice, but I don't think it should be 50-50. Because when I went to the mayor's do some of the food, it wasn't to my liking. I went for a little patch thing, and all the big ones were gone. But I did have whatever it was, and it didn't really touch the spot for me, really. But I mean, choices are choices, but I think you should go along with what people in this country do, not our own decision. I said we should have some, but not 50-50.
You're lucky when I got there, there's only bread rolls there.
Yes.
Councillor Eva.
More or less along the lines of came from school, really. I think there should be a vegan choice, absolutely. I don't agree with 50-50 because of the majority of people aren't vegan, and we should go along those grounds. But for years, Emily and Val have sent out invitations, and on that says, if you've got any dietary needs, let us know, and then the meals comply with that. If you could invite people who just turn up who not necessarily have an invite, but then you want them to have certainly maybe 20% vegan. I do not believe that 50% is right. I looked at the table at the mayor's did, and I know you're vegan, right? Okay. But all the stuff which is left over was the vegan food which was left over, and people ended up taking some of that home in boxes. Well, that's the waste. So I just think that we shouldn't be big brother on what people should eat, but maybe 20% choice of vegan, and then if you find that it needs to be increased, we can increase it as needs. But do we have to start at such a high level? And I mean, I don't know how many people around the table are vegan, okay, but I'm certainly not. And like Alan, when I went for a small pasty with a piece of meat, there wasn't any. And I had a couple of the vegan ones, and I didn't quite like them either.
But can I just clarify, I might have misunderstood. We're not saying that if they're having an event, 50% of the food on the table is going to be vegan, are we? Aren't we saying that? If there's a list of menu choices before people's, half of those choices should be a vegan option. So if there's 10 meat options for meat eaters to choose, there would be 10 vegan options for vegan options to choose. And they would then make that choice. We would then prepare that food and serve that on the night. That's what I understood was happening. Not that there would always be 50% vegan food. Is that not right? Is that correct?
That's it.
I think that's what we're seeking clarity on.
Yes, so that's my understanding.
That's it.
Councillor Spider,
Can I just
clarify if people are using the right word. Is it vegan or vegetarian that they mean?
Plant-based.
Vegan.
Plant-based.
Yeah.
Vegan.
Plant-based is not the same as vegan.
Isn't it?
It's plant-based, so it would appeal to vegetarians and vegans
So it shouldn't
and non-meat eaters. So, yeah. So it's, sorry, Councillor Saunders was first.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I initially voted 50-50, but then everyone's got the right to change their minds. I have changed my mind. I go with Councillor Eager. I think it should be something like 75-25% in favour of proper food. If you've got to change it at a later date, then so be it. But let's not jump in the deep end first.
I think we're missing the point a little bit. We're not saying that half the food on the table will be vegan and half will be meat. We're saying when people are sent the menu options to choose, there would be as many vegan options to choose from as meat options to choose from. That was my understanding. So you would say, yes, I want a vegan option, I will have choice A. Because often, as a vegetarian or vegan, your choice is very limited. So there will be 20 meat dishes and 1 or 2 vegan vegetarian options. So I think it was an attempt to address that. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Councillor Young.
Thank you. Yes, I believe you have it correct now, and I think a lot of the comments are based on a misunderstanding, as you've explained. So thank you for making that really clear. And perhaps if my learned friends here, my colleagues here, are very concerned that there should be a particular diet available, they should respond when there's a request for special diets.
It's not special, does it?
Well, I mean, for some people, eating meat is normal, for others it's a special diet.
Thank you. I don't want to get into a wider debate about Councillor Clare.
So I sort of had 20 people,
Yes.
and one person replies that they'd like a plant-based option,
Yes.
and you're providing 10 things in the multiples of the 19 people. We would be agreeing to the one person having 10 choices.
And they would select one choice and we would prepare that one choice. We wouldn't produce 20.
So that's more admin.
It is more. Yeah, yeah.
It's really complex, yeah.
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 Yeah, I'm not saying that we should go for it, I just wanted to clarify what we're discussing.
Okay.
In the bigger picture, it's
Councillor
not
Evans. Sorry, we have hands up. Councillor Evans.
We've talked about declaring climate emergency, and eating meat production is a large part of the climate problem. It is.
I think we're getting onto wider issues, which really isn't what we're discussing.
And I quite agree with Councillor Eva that at the moment there isn't 50% people on a plant-based diet. But we are trying to promote that nationally through the government. But also 47% of UK adults eat too much meat. It affects their health. And so we should be cutting down on meat. Everybody agrees you should be cutting down on meat. Everybody that's a scientist or a medical expert. Perhaps people that perhaps eat too much meat, perhaps they don't agree. But meat is bad for your health.
Thank you, Councillor. We're drifting onto wider matters, really. We're now discussing the benefits of plant-based diets, which is not what we're discussing. That's not the item. So I propose we move to a vote. Is everybody clear what they're voting for?
No.
No. Could you spell it out?
This
Right.
is the bottom on the nose.
I know. My understanding is that when we hold an event, there will be 2 menu choices. One will be plant-based, one will be meat. And each person, before they go, will have to select their preference. So if there's 100 people going, 10 of them choose a vegan option, there will be 10 vegan options provided. That will have an administration impact on our officers, rather than just having, say, 10% vegan and when it turns up you can have it.
You got it right before.
Sorry, do we have hands up? Councillor Kirkham?
Yeah, sorry, I'm a bit confused now. So what if it's a buffet with the 200 people coming and nobody really replies?
That's the problem. Yeah, that's a problem. But the motion, I just wanted to clarify what the motion was. I'm not saying I'm for or against it. I just wanted to clarify that we all are aware of what we're voting for. Councillor Young.
In that situation, if there is only meat left, I've on many occasions been unable to eat at all because I'm vegetarian and I don't eat meat. However, we just heard from our colleague here that when he turned up and there was only plant-based left, he was able to eat it. It might not be your preferred food, but it is at least food that you can eat.
Thank you. I think we're all well aware of the issues in that. Councillor Weaver.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I didn't join the council to tell people what they can and can't eat. We've got more important things around this table to discuss than the menu set out for what people should do at council events. I think there's nothing wrong with the old system where they send out invitations and on the bottom of it says, if you have any dietary needs, let us know. And it's always worked up to now. Why you need to bring in something else to say that we should cut down on meat? I don't want to cut down on meat. If it affects my health, that's my choice. I'm 68 years old. I don't need to be told what's good for me and what's not good for me. And I just find it ridiculous.
Okay. Councillor Watson, this is the last comment now. We've discussed the issues. We're all well aware of something.
I largely agree with Councillor Reaver. I don't see the reason for any of us to be arguing about how much vegan food.
No.
We've always had vegan options. The staff have always sorted out food for everybody. Can't we just revert to that?
Thank you. I propose we move to a vote. Is that fair? Okay.
I think actually might move something. There's nothing yet. So at the moment you've got a recommendation from your committee to the council, and I'm waiting for a motion to come from the floor.
Point of order, we've got a motion on the paper. It
No,
says
it's a committee recommendation.
motion. And that has been recommended.
Are you proposing to make an amendment to the...
Yes. Yeah, I'd like to make an amendment.
Sorry, Chairman. So has the motion been moved? I don't think it has.
No.
I will move the motion.
Seconded.
Motion approved.
Thanks, that's what I was looking for.
Councillor Young.
I'd like to bring an amendment that we carry on with what we did before. And they send out invitations, and if anyone got dietary needs, then we sort it out from there. I do not believe that we should be telling people what they can and can't do. So my motion would be to carry on as we are now and not adopt this.
Is that amendment?
That's an amendment. Councillor Reaver needs a second.
Can we discuss the amendment?
We've discussed it. I don't want to discuss it. I've said
If you're bringing something new to the discussion, Councillor Evans, please do.
Clarification, yes, certainly, because the status quo is, I went to the last mayor's ball that was held, and you say there is an vegetarian option. There's one non-meat option. There was about 4 meat or fish options. There was one option for non-meat eaters. Is that fair? If you went and there was one meat option, would you consider that is good value? And then, you might be pork, you might not like pork, might not suit you. Is that fair that meat eaters should be given 5 choices and non-meat eaters should be given 1 choice? And that's what it comes down to. There should be an equal choice.
Thank you. Is this something new, Councillor Young?
I'd like to support Councillor Reaver's amendment. I think if we go half and half plant-based, as per the resolution, and we have this amendment that if anyone has a particular need, whether that's for meat or for vegan or for gluten-free or whatever else, that they be invited to make a request for their special diet. I think that's a very good
I'm going to bring in...
seconding Steve's amendment.
I'm going to bring in...
I think just misunderstood.
That's not what my amendment was. My amendment wasn't bringing 50-50 and then have people phone in. My amendment was what we stated, the status quo, where we send out information out to people saying that we've got an event on in the afternoon suite. And if you've got any dietary needs, then we will comply with them.
Sorry, Chairman. So just for clarity then, so Councillor Young withdrawing her support for the motion?
No, I support the amendment that anyone who has a special dietary need, whether that is for absolutely vegan or for meat eating, be invited to put that request in.
So at the moment you're supporting Councillor Young's motion. Are you saying you support the amendment instead?
I'm saying we continue the thing where if people have a special diet, they request that. Otherwise we have 50-50 as per the original motion.
Councillor Evans will need a different seconder because Councillor Young is now seconding me.
No, that's not my amendment.
I know.
My amendment
no,
is not that 50-50 and empty.
No,
My motion is we stay status quo.
So isn't that just
Where we are
motion
now.
against the motion?
So can I bring in Ruth Thompson?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So I think we're getting hung up on, there's two different matters here.
Yeah.
There is one matter which deals with invitations to formal dinners when there's a number of options on a menu, and the number of options that are given on the menu are predominantly meat and fish with one vegetarian option. That is one course of action, that's one thing that councillors are asked to attend to, or events that happen where there isn't necessarily an adequate choice for people that are non-meat eaters. When it comes to buffets, that's a completely different thing again, because a lot of buffets are already catered for with non-meat or plant-based options. Your salads are non-meat options. A lot of the sandwiches are non-meat options. So automatically there are plant-based options available for buffets. I think it's becoming difficult to ascertain what the council is trying to resolve, because I think there's two different things that you're trying to get a resolution on, which should equally be considered independently.
Thank you. So the motion is for 50-50.
No, it isn't.
Sorry, the amendment is to keep status
You
quo.
haven't got a motion at the moment because you've only got a mover. You haven't got a seconder.
Then I've got,
So Councillor Young is now seconding the motion again.
I've seconded
Right,
that
okay.
motion.
Thank you.
So the amendment is no longer seconded.
Yes, it is. Councillor Robinson seconded. So amendment first, Joe.
Okay, so we'll vote on the amendment as proposed by Councillor Eva.
Yes.
All those in
Point of
favour?
order.
Sorry, vote.
But I believe that amendment to be just to say vote against the original motion.
No, it's to maintain the status quo. It's the
Yeah, so that's to vote against.
Sorry, Chair. So the amendment is that recommendation from the committee, except that in terms of civic events, the menu options are as we currently go with. So it's the bulk of that motion recommendation plus that change.
Is that understood? Yeah, okay. All those in favour?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Who's against?
Against?
1.
I don't even know anymore.
So the amendment is carried. That becomes a substantive motion.
Thank you.
But do we get to vote on the actual motion?
No, it's lost.
No, the motion's gone.
But that was the amendment though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
That overrides it.
The amendment is carried.
Okay.
Right, thank you. Moving on. Councillor Eva.
You've had the amendment. The amendment is accepted. Now the amendment has to
It
become
becomes the substantive motion.
substantive motion.
Yep.
Or actually I'll vote on the amendment. So it's exactly the same again, as a motion.
Do we need a new seconder?
No, just take a vote.
So now we vote on the substantive motion. For us, all those in favour?
It should be 8 what?
Councillor Curtis.
8, yeah.
All those against?
8, 2 this time.
Thank you.
It's carried.
Thank you. I'll get that answer something.
So please.
Okay, moving on. Item 14, Super Council Network. To note the summary of the Super Council Network's meeting, which took place on 6th of May. We've all received that. Councillor Edwards did go to Yate Town Council to listen to some presentations there, and she's going to come back to us with some feedback on that. Sounds like a really good event. Can you refer to that?
No, the Yate Town Council was the national study visit, and that was predominantly around the delivery of youth services. Councillor Edwards has sent apologies tonight, and we'll pick up on that at your next meeting.
Thank you. Do we have a town management report?
It is, it's a written report, and it's with your agenda.
Okay, is everyone outside of that? Any questions? Councillor Jill?
Yes, maybe something to strain a little bit from this report, but we've got the Sea Shanty Festival coming up, haven't we? Was it 15th? It's a Saturday, is that correct?
It's Friday open to the Friday.
Yeah, it's on 15th, isn't it? But 4 days. Yeah. So, the beach management group, I piece come through from David Yellow, and they've got a huge gig racing event being held on the same weekend at Innovate Beach. I just wondered who was the bright spark who thought that would be a good idea, because all the gig boats will have huge trailers, so you can discount the Gillaways car park will be gone. I just wondered who on earth would organise 2 big events on that weekend.
Yeah,
If they spread it out, everyone would work better. But yeah, they are obviously in business. But it's a shame they don't. I can't understand how they ever thought about contemplating having 2 huge events on the same weekend.
Yeah, I mean, sea shag's often in towns. It's
Yeah, but I mean, this is a big people park. There's a huge issue with parking, isn't there?
Yeah.
I just don't get it.
No.
But anyhow, they aren't listed like that.
Yeah. Actually, yeah.
Yeah, these kinds of things keep happening. There are so many problems with parking in the town. This just reiterates the need to have a functional year-round park and ride, and it might be really helpful if the town team were to be a bit more proactive with sharing things like train times and bus times for visitors coming in, because the information is not very clear. People aren't even aware that Falmouth town station gets closed. If we could have just maybe some more buses running to a park and ride somewhere, it would really ease things in the town and make it a much more pleasant environment for everybody and safe.
I don't think we're in charge of buses.
No, but if we ask the town team to share information and just try and promote use of public transport as far as possible, I think it would really benefit all these events.
Thank you. Pass that on.
Thank you. And the other thing is obviously public toilets. We had a lot of closure of public toilets in the evening. We know some of the unfortunate incidents that were occurring last summer. So I'm wondering what progress there is towards having more accessible toilets for
We're not
events.
discussing that item tonight, Councillor.
No, we can't talk about it.
Thank you. Town clerk's report.
Yeah, so I need to pick this up. So first item there, that's the pilot scheme with South West Water. That's the wet wipe pilot, disposal of wet wipes and the awareness around that. That has been deferred by South West Water, and we're waiting for them to advise us when that will be picked up. Hopefully, Falmouth will still be one of the pilot areas for that. Secondly, the standards regime have advised us that they have rejected a code complaint by Councillor Young regarding Councillor Edwards, as it does not demonstrate a breach of the code. That's attached to my report. Cornwall Council have advised us that in terms of their integrated service hub at Tregenber Road, they are progressing with that, and there is an update attached to my report regarding timescales and projects. Earlier on the agenda was the Super Council Network update. Obviously, Falmouth Town Council are part of that National Super Councils group. There was a presentation regarding the Rural Market Towns group, and I think it would be helpful to the council if we were part of that in terms of lobbying and support. There is a cost to that, and that's £137 per annum. So I recommend that we join up with that, at least while we assess how useful it is to us in terms of lobbying. One of the representations that we have made to the government is about our ability to directly access some of the external funding streams rather than have them passported through Cornwall Council or others, and the extra layers of bureaucracy that creates for us. So if the committee wants to note my report, but pass a resolution in regard to item 4, please.
Do you propose for a second, please? I propose you do so. Will you second it?
I second.
Councillor Evans. All those in favour? That's carried. Thank you. Exclusion of the press. Sorry? I propose we exclude the press at this point. Seconded by Councillor Coley. All those in favour?